I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you may want to consider the new 2026 Buick Encore GX Avenir in white forest tri-coat over whisper beige and ebony interior. The Avenir is the top trim of the 3 trims that is option. 2 different engine options, and you can go from a CVT to a 9-speed automatic transmission just by ticking the box to the all-wheel drive that we're showcasing. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and I'm going to go over the full specs of the exterior, the interior. We're going to take it for a test drive and reveal the 3 reasons why you may want to consider the new Avenir. 7.5 inches of cleared start us off, which is quite a bit for this segment. Full LED headlights, daytime runnings, glossy black, and you'll have this ice that's going to be in the center here, and that's unique to the Avenir. When you go into the Sport, it's going to have a gloss black grille. So I like how they changed that when you go into the 3 different trims. You're going to have a gray here. You get the gloss black lip. Now the Encore GX does have a twist because you have a set of turbocharged 3 cylinders. One that's going to be the base 1.2 liter 3-cylinder turbocharged that's producing 137 horsepower with 162 pound-feet of torque, or this optional 1.3 liter that we're showcasing with 155 horsepower and 174 pound-feet of torque, a front-wheel drive configuration, or a 9-speed automatic transmission. And when you tick the box to all-wheel drive, you'll get the 9-speed opposed to the CVT transmission. Now this market is saturated. I mean, you have Mazda, you have Volkswagen, Honda, Toyota, the list just goes on forever. And for comparison purposes, the Mazda CX-30, it's gonna have more performance than this, especially when you tick the box to the turbocharge. The new Taos, they have increased the horsepower to that variant. So when you're looking at a carryover engine, I kind of wish that Buick would have increased the horsepower and torque. Now for MPGs, it's not bad. I mean, you're getting 26 over 28 for an all-wheel drive configuration, but some people just don't like that turbocharged 3-cylinder engine. Taking me to the first reason why you may want to consider the Encore GX. When you go Avenir, everything is unique. So the front bumpers, the wheels, even the lighting is going to be changed going into this trim. Plus, you're going to get a lot more standard amenities, so you'd have to tick the box. Now, the pro to the Encore GX is each trim can option features that are similar to the Avenir. Standard 18-inch wheels, and you'll have an 18-inch wheel for the Sport trim and a 19-inch that's exclusive to the Avenir. That's what we're showcasing right here with the Avenir print. And you have the chrome highlights over the top portion. You have the satin silver that's going to be on the roof rails. Unfortunately, it does have an RC antenna, so no shark fin antenna here. And they'll have the chrome on all the door tips, and you can lock and unlock the door from the front and the back. Rain sensing wipers, that's because we have the Avenir convenience package. And comparing this to Honda's HR-V, they did increase the power because we got the Civic engine, but that wasn't done this year. So they haven't done anything with that variant either. It's a little bit longer than this one. So if you're looking for more of a sleek, luxury / sporty style, this is the segment that you want to look at because you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. But then the con is you're not getting that full luxury warranty anymore because a few years back, they cut that warranty, putting it in class with Toyota and Honda. So now you're only getting 3-year, 36,000 miles, which makes the Chevy Trax come into play for a discounted bargain, because now you can get that in the low 20 grand, where this is going to be just a touch over $30,000 with the features that we're showcasing. Clear lens, LED taillights, and the clear lens is only going to be on the Avenir trim. Buick print, the new Buick badging, which they implemented a few years back. I just like the design of this. It looks a lot more sporty. Front and rear parking sensors, a 360-degree reverse camera because we have the Avenir technology package. And the lower keeps it sporty, similar to the Sport Touring trim. Fake exhaust outlets, I could always do without those, and you have more or less a diffuser here. So it keeps us sporty, aggressive, but yet luxurious style, and that's what you're getting when you go Avenir. And the second reason why I would go Encore GX is it doesn't matter the powertrain. You're still getting 1,000 pounds of towing, over 1,100 pounds payload. That's not going to be the case when you go Honda. Even Toyota is going to be a lot less than this, and you're going to have to stick with the CVT transmission opposed to being able to option the 9-speed going into the all-wheel drive. Because we have the Avenir convenience package, we get the power lift gate, which can be optioned on all trims. 23.5 cubic feet of storage. The cargo net, you can just undo it from here on both sides. No LED interior lights. Underneath the floor, we have a spare tire. This is a new feature, actually. It's a 16-inch. This is an extra charge, and you got a little storage cubby on the side. Split fold the rear bench. You can do so in the back if you're tall like me at a 60 or 40-60 split, and that's going to maximize the cargo capacity to 50.2 cubic feet of storage. The key fob to the Buick Encore GX Avenir. 10-way power seat adjustment for the driver, 8-way power seat adjustment for the passenger, heated ventilated seats. This is the Avenir, so leather seats, Avenir embossed. It's perforated. You get the contrast stitch and piping. Otherwise, the Sport Touring is going to be a leatherette. You can option power seat for the driver and heated front seats, even going into the preferred. Memory is going to be only for the driver. 7 speakers through Bose, otherwise 6 speakers can be optioned, and 6 speakers is also standard. And check out the space for the interior. He is slouched a little bit, but he has a pretty sufficient amount. They do have a wall here, so it makes it kind of a driver-focused setup, even though it's not. You have a panel of screens. Let's fire it up. Now we have some features that's going to add things like this 360-degree reverse camera that shows the trajectory for the front and the rear. This is part of the technology package for the Avenir. You can also add this with every trim. So I think that is awesome, because if you don't want to spend over 30 grand, you could still get this. Digital rear view mirror, home link, and it's a auto dimming rear view mirror. You do not get any LED interior lights. This is an 11-inch diagonal screen, wireless connectivity for your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Wi-Fi hotspot. This is going to be going through OnStar, and you don't really have much more here. On the gauge cluster, you could change the configuration, so it is kind of a little bit more cleaned up, or you can just go into your vehicle information here, and you can see everything for your trip information, as well as the infotainment screen. And how you do that is on the right side, you push and hold it for a few seconds, let it go, and then it will engage. I usually leave it in gauge 2. It's a wrap steering wheel, multi-function, it's also heated. And adaptive cruise control is added because of the Avenir technology package. Dual climate control settings, you can only get this here. You have a 12-volt, 2 USB, wireless charging pad is because of the technology. You got the glossy black here, and they don't go over the top of glossy black. Even going behind the 1-panel, 2-screen layout, you have the geometrical design, and then you'll have a matte black here. So I appreciate that they didn't go all gloss black, and they only really did it right here. A huge storage cubby. This is going to be more firm for my liking. It opens up into a smaller, a deep storage pocket. It's just not so wide. Check out the leg space, and sport pedals will be on the Sport Touring trim. Headroom, you got about 4 to 5 inches. And you can also option a panel moonroof. Door panel and dash, it configures it together nicely, and I do like the pattern that it just wraps around because it makes it feel sporty, yet keeping it sleek and clean. One touch up and down only for the driver window. That's a con to me because we're in the Avenir. It's soft to touch where it needs to be with a long storage pocket, and it goes deep back here, and a beverage holder carved out, and you can adjust the power trunk lid either max or 3/4. For the back seat, this is the opening that you have to fit 2 more with the cup holders and armrest down, 2 USB ports, and a home plug with a storage tray here and storage behind both of the front seats. The door card, it's going to be the same as the front, so you'll have the contrast stitch, software it needs to be, everyday materials otherwise, a large beverage holder sitting behind me. The seats are actually carved out, so you have about 2 inches of leg space if I'm driving. Headroom, that's the best part. I still got about 3 inches of headroom. Sliding into the center, the rails are not pushed up enough, so I'm going to be sharing some feet space, but leg and shoulder space as well. And if the seat is back like you're seeing, it's going to be very hard for me to actually sit comfortably. I have to kind of sit like this. Either way, my knees are going to be sitting up in the air. And headroom, I'm going to have about 1 inch because we don't have the panel moonroof. And if you were wondering why this is carved out like this and it's not like that, it's because you could fold this seat out, stretch out like this, and recline in the back seat of your Encore GX Avenir. 155 horsepower and 174 pound-feet of torque out of the 3-cylinder turbocharged 1.3 liter engine. 7.5 inches of clearance, that's pretty impressive for a small SUV. In the gauge cluster, it's the same layout as the Chevy Trax, so if you are looking for more of a bargain deal, you can go that route and you're going to get it in the low 20 grand. This is going to start around 25-ish, and it does escalate, especially when you start adding features to the vehicle. But adding these features that are more desirable for the everyday use, like the adaptive cruise control, the technology package also furthers that with the 360-degree reverse camera, and you're also getting the rain-sensing wipers. I mean, I don't know if I can live without some of these features, and they don't really charge that much. So I am okay with the upcharge in it. I just wish that it would stay more at like a $34,000 to $35,000 price all in. Maneuverability, this is not the fastest vehicle in class. So we're just gonna give her a little go here. And you're noticing what you're gonna be hitting a lot of. Higher RPMs because of the smaller engine design. Typically staying around 3 to 4 RPM, that's gonna be quite normal. Large windscreen as well as side windows. We got blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, rear cross traffic alert. And another cool feature that GMC does is if you give this vehicle to your teenager, for instance, and they don't attach the seatbelt, the vehicle will not go into gear. But once they've attached their seatbelt and they disconnect it, they can go into gear anytime. So it's a good feature, but obviously there's a way around everything. Quiet in the cabin, you have sound cancellation, and the Avenir takes it up a step further with all the luxury because we're getting leather seats. I mean, when you're considering ventilated and heated seats, leather seats, that's a lot of bang for your buck. It's gonna take me into some pros and cons, and we've talked a lot about pros, so we're gonna just dive into the cons, which the infotainment screen in the gauge cluster, it's a little bit slower than my liking. It also glitches. You have to go into the Avenir to get the dual climate control settings. You have to option features like the wireless charging pad, even going to the top tier. You pretty much have to a la carte the vehicle. So you get a base vehicle, wheels, engine, transmission, and then you figure out what you want for features. That's what they're doing here. Going over imperfections, you can see the road work. It's actually not uncomfortable, pretty pleasant. And we're going around, say, 30 miles per hour. Let's see what we got. Actually has good pickup at a low note, so I do appreciate that. With these smaller turbo engines, you're gonna be hitting a higher RPM, but it's still motivated, so you don't really feel too much of the lag. And when you're considering the price point, I'm all right with that, because going into the HRV, it feels heavy. You don't actually have that feel here because this is a smaller SUV. We're gonna slow it down a little bit so you can see that turbo lag once again. Going around 40. I mean, once it finds its gear, it's pretty good. I would go to the all-wheel drive opposed to the front-wheel drive, so I'm not dealing with the CVT transmission. That's also what makes this a little bit more better in my liking compared to the competition, because when you go into Toyota, Honda, CVT transmissions. And it's a lot more quiet. The materials are a lot more firm to my liking though, especially at this price point, because if I go into Mazda and I get the turbo variant, which is gonna be equivalent to about this price, it's gonna have a lot more plush amenities in the interior, plus it's gonna be a lot more faster. And to check the brakes, small vehicle, it definitely stops on a dime. Turn radius at a stop point is gonna be about 2 lanes. I'm gonna stop right here so you can see the full performance on a 0 to 60. Let's rock and roll. Again, not the fastest vehicle in class, but you're not buying it for that. You're buying it for an everyday use with some more plush materials, which they skimp a little bit on that. As you drive the vehicle, you're gonna be hearing the engine a little bit more so, even though the sound deadening isn't really that bad, especially with 19-inch wheels and the price point that you're at. Interior space is good. You have plenty of storage nooks found throughout the cabin. I just feel like having to add features when you're already at an Avenir trim, it just kind of makes it a little bit counterproductive. I mean, give me some of those features standard, because even going into the ST or the Sport Touring trim, which is the middle grade right underneath this, it's gonna look sporty on the exterior and it's gonna have its own design in the interior, but you still have to option freaking features. The steering is light, it doesn't feel wide, it doesn't feel long. And I kind of like that they have a smaller rear view mirror because it fits the vehicle. One thing that irritates me a little bit about Chevy and GMC products is they put this same mirror even on larger vehicles, and then it kind of looks too small for the vehicle. So the fit to touch on this, they did a good job with it. Taking me to the last reason why you may want to consider this is a step up from the Chevy Trax, giving you that extra luxury, but not going into a 40 grand price. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out this next video right here.